Think if everybody had an electric car or a Tesla or maybe a hybrid car or some sort of technology that's not burning fossil burns, then it's a good thing. But if you just say bleep, 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 I don't care, I only care about the present and my lifestyle and my career, then you're jeopardizing the future offspring of your legacy to be successful with their life and their choices in life to recreate a version of this today reality and the past reality for the future reality of your offsprings or people you may know in community that are really young and they're still growing and they have time to go. Water, that's what I'm talking about. There's things around that too happening. Separate the spit from the food. And some food comes up with the spit. But the long story short is, if we don't act now, we're ready for demolition of planet Earth. And Hitchhiker's the Guide to the Galaxy is probably true. There's some alien life form out there, which in my brain, I'm thinking only in my brain. I'm not thinking in reality check, because we're still trying to figure out the star, the sun, the dip on the chart shows us colors, and that looks like a planet. Maybe there's a Big Bang Theory. It'll also explain about planets. But that all explains all at one time about life all came from a Big Bang and came into existence all at one time. Okay, थोड़े गल्ला पे ये देख गल्ला पे सोच के कहना है हाँ इदा ही है, सो इदा ही है, but थानू नहीं पता, but आपा कही है एक हुक्मकार, you know, at the same time. Sure, what that mean ਹੁੰਦਾ है, there's only one God. Maybe the God was the ball of lightning that exploded from one small atom, small in the atom, and it just went boom, 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 and life all germinated at the same time on the whole celestial curvature, gravitational pull, and this whole crazy world now we are living in. And now it's still like it's growing every time it shifts from the red, you know, the red shift. It's moving away. It's going far, far, far away. The red side. When you analyze it with special camera technology, you can find that it's still growing. It's not shrinking. It's not collapsing. It's still expanding. At the speed of light. We're expanding the speed of light. So, I'm at the share card, right? At that level, I'm telling you right now, on our standard we're doing today, we're creating emissions by carbon burning. Like Australia is off the chart. Australia, South Australia, is going like dumbass style. Like they're like the wild, wild west of dumbass people. Australians are the dumbest people in the world because they're using coal. They're right next to China. China is a dumbass country as well because now they're going to turn on more coal active machines. That's some crazy dumbass stuff to do. Dumb people live in China and they live in Australia. And some parts of even Canada is still running on coal. It's disastrous. States, well, are trying to clean up their act. Canada's trying to clean up their act. But overall, we have lakes in Canada full of acid water. It's like we have disasters already that's happened here, and we've learned from our own mistakes. But on top of that, We have problems with the rest of the world. Like, look at the EU. Look at the UN. Like, seriously? We're all fighting over water when we should be fighting over, it's time to touch on the climate. Time to shut down. Sarakos kera chaldaya carbon emission chaldaya. Because if we keep going the way we're going today, now I'm not a scientist. I'm just somebody who's been listening, and I've been hearing things from the whole universe, and been looking in on the media savvy side, because I'm a little media savvy myself. But I don't have to say anything. I don't even have to speak about it. But we all have the same antennas on our heads. Somewhere up here we have like these little rabbit ears. So get your rabbit ears straight. Everything that's going on right now is true. It's going to go again, and it's going to get worse and worse. So this rain that's falling in Canada, and we keep calling it spring rain, or we keep calling it something else. Nobody wants to say it, but the elephant in the room is really there, and it's pretty big, and it's not leaving the room. The rest of you jackasses feel like it's not in the room. But you know what? In the long run, it comes back down to us. Right now, with the northern polar shifts and the southern polar shifts, because Australia won't stop using coal as an energy consumption thing. They won't switch to can-do. Japan tried to do it. They had a quake. Okay, everything got twisted there. But the thing is, we still have a chance. Europe is doing their best. I really commend Europe is doing their best, you know? The rest of the world is falling apart. India, China, I don't know where they're going. Maybe Saudi Arabia is doing the right thing, but the rest of the world, have shame on you. You're just not ready for the next generation. All you're thinking about is selfish greed. With Africa the way it's going right now, with all the disasters in the States, I feel so sorry for our human race, because nobody has the right mindset to do the right thing. We just want to just mess it all up and throw the F word in there everywhere we can and blame somebody else. But really the blame comes back down to our own organizations, our own communities, our own leaders, our own regional DCs, our own VPs, ourselves. It comes down to the core of our own people that are causing this whole problem. Religion will not solve this problem. This is a chemical bio problem, and it's not going to be done in the next 2 years, or some sort of political campaign is going to clean it all up, or even taxes are not going to clean this up. You can put as many carbon taxes you want on this thing, it's still not going to go away. This is something that's going to be existing for millenniums. So doing a tax thing on it, I think we're way past the tax part. This should have been we should have mega tower cities instead of, well, let's cover the pastures, let's cover people's lands and agriculturals with cities, because the landowners want to make money on their land. So we'll build subdivisions on my land. We'll make my land beautiful, because people want to live spread out everywhere. They all want to think they live in the country, but they're all living in subdivisions and all this kind of crap. We should be building is mega towers, city mega towers, like structures that are built probably 30 stories into the earth and up into the air, and maybe touching the stratosphere and then touching the space station and building a universe out off the planet into the space, into the atmosphere, above atmosphere, and into almost like where there is no Earth atmosphere. But that's probably beyond the moon. But I'm just saying is that we have to now build up and build into the ground and not build spread out, where our taxes get all crazy and stuff, because the municipals don't give a shit about you and me. They only care about their revenue. But that's the problem. That's the problem right there. You got to build into the earth and up into the sky. Stop spreading the towers. The towers have to be firm where they are built, and the slabs have to say this is the area of where we're going to station ourselves for the next 1,000 years, 10,000 years, 50,000 years, and not want to spread any bit, even an inch outside that circumference, and then we go straight up, because we want to protect the permafrost for all the trees and vegetation below us in the soil, and we want to go straight up, right up. And these towers can be like 10 miles wide and be like as high as the sky. And that's the city. And in that tower, it'd be like a stem of a plant or a dandelion. At the top, it would be spread open, and there would be like clusters of cities all connected in a network. And above there, above the stratosphere, it would be like almost space, and everybody would be in a dome and be protected and look up into the sky and go, wow, that's the celestial bodies and all the different shapes and sizes. The telescopes are open. And that will take so long to happen because we have so much corruption down here that this is going to take a while to get there. We're talking at least, if we become civilized and we all work together as one unified body of mind, it'll take us still another at least tops, if we play the right game, we could probably do that in like, we gotta first, I like to not say this, but it's gonna have to be the generation have to die off. And we need to reduce the populations and then confine everybody into small, tight orders, spaces like they do in Japan and China, and then finally build up and into the earth, 30, 40 stories down, and $50,000 stories into the sky, with space elevators attached to floating high in the sky, floating pies, rotating for gravitational pulls, creating like Earth-like atmospheres so we don't all turn to jello, mellow, floating in all that mellow, gravitational, less mellow areas up in space, like how they do when you do hit the 0 G's. I could talk forever, but you know what has to be done. Then pala ka na dyan. Eko kumkar, again, respects. We got, think big. Thinking small, like Tesla, that's thinking small. You know, some sort of hovering machine. That may be thinking big. But how big do you want to think? It all comes down to you. Down to the individual. And groups get together and create the next big purpose in life. The journey had begun long time ago.